Some people are saying that Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman paycheck was surprisingly small for such a mega blockbuster. Wonder Woman just cleared 50 million worldwide box office. Some people are saying that's not the case, so let's talk about it. Amir. Gal Gadot initially signed on for just 3 movies, and they've already been covered. She was in Batman vs. Superman, Wonder Woman, and the upcoming Justice League. And she revealed in 2014 that she made $300,000 per film. And that's actually not that strange, because Chris Evans earned $300,000 for Captain America, and all the Avengers, not all the Avengers, but some of the Avengers earned just $200,000 for the Avengers because they had multi-picture contracts. Now, of course, Robert Downey Jr., who is the major star Iron Man of the Marvel franchises, he really leveraged his star power. He brought in 50 million. So there's a lot of disparity going on here, not necessarily sexist, but some people are pointing a couple questionable things out. Notably that Henry Cavill, who played Superman, brought in 14 million for Man of Steel, including box office bonuses. Now, Gal Gadot will likely also bring in some box office bonuses as well. So even though she's bringing in 300,000, that could really rack up, especially as Wonder Woman just keeps bringing in money. But it is interesting that the pile of shit that was Man of Steel, and honestly, like, Henry Cavill is a fine Superman, but he hasn't really rocked the boat as much as I think a lot of people feel Gal Gadot has with her portrayal of Wonder Woman. Is there some sexism there? I don't know. Superman, it brings in more people just because his name, I don't know. What you can note coming into the future is, for any potential sequels, the studio can expect some intense contract negotiations from Gadot and director Patty Jenkins. With Gadot contracted for 3 films and Jenkins contracted for only 1, you can't help but wonder if Warner Brothers thought the franchise would end at 1 movie or that Jenkins could be replaced. That would come back to bite them, as the 2 women will demand higher paychecks for the as yet unconfirmed Wonder Woman 2. Now that is coming from daily.com, which is just a projection that if there is a Wonder Woman 2, which seems very likely there could be, that they could come back and ask for higher contracts. So maybe this works in their favor. Amir, I want to hear from you. Do you think that there is some wage disparity here when it comes to what Gal Gadot brought in for Wonder Woman?
There's absolutely wage disparity just in Hollywood in general. We know that. We've read a lot of stories. I don't know how much of it is into effect in this situation, especially since you said there was other actors who got paid around the same amount.
Yeah, so that's what I was,
like Chris Evans for Captain America, you said?
Yeah, Chris Evans brought in 300,000 for Captain America, and that's also notable for a first film. So it's Captain America, the first Avenger. We didn't realize that how big Captain America would be. This was still in the early iterations of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah. So I don't think it was that strange for her to bring in 300,000 per film.
And it sounds like she signed this deal years ago for 3 films.
For 3 films, yeah, and they have already been made. So now she's in renegotiations, which I think that's the conversation that I think is really exciting, to see how these renegotiations go. Given the success of Wonder Woman, that will really tell us if there is sexism. I don't think that as of now we can discern if there is or if there is not.
Right.
Now, she is really quite a star. Like I didn't know who she was when they announced that she was going to be playing Wonder Woman. I was very skeptical. She's won over so many people, myself included. Now when she goes into negotiations, let's see if that is reflected in the pay that she brings in. I would think that she is a comparable anchor to the DC universe as Robert Downey Jr. is to the Marvel universe. Yeah. Because Robert Downey Jr. is now Iron Man.
Right.
Like, I've seen him in other movies, but you see him and you're like, oh, that's Iron Man doing this other movie. I think Gal Gadot could have sort of a similar trajectory.
Yeah, totally, I agree. Yeah, and when I think about it, she was in Batman vs. Superman, and she had like a very small role too.
But she stole the show. You know what I'm talking about? Where you have Ben Affleck, who is Batman, I guess. I still think that Batman is Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
But whatever. So you still
have
Rachel? Exactly. Where's Rachel? You see her, and she just really steals every single scene, and that's what you look for as sort of a cornerstone of a franchise. If it's me, which it's not, producing these movies, I would want to insert Gal Gadot in all these pictures as they start getting made.
I think she'll do a good job in the renegotiations because people just see her hand in hand with Wonder Woman now.
And what do you think about Patty Jenkins going back to the table? Because she was only contracted for 1 Wonder Woman movie. Do you want to see her come back for Wonder Woman 2?
I do want to see her come back. However, I think the executives are going to be like, yeah, we don't really need you. If negotiations don't go well, they'll easily get rid of her and find someone else to do it.
What I liked about Wonder Woman so much was that I did feel the hand of a female storyteller telling a female story.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. And I really liked the way that she handled how Wonder Woman interacts with people and just interactions with men and with women, and when you are a beautiful goddess, what that might look like. And I don't know, I thought that they played off each other so well. The reactions, or not the reactions, the performances that she got from Chris Pine, the performances she got from Gal Gadot, like I want to see more of that. I would hope they would bring her back, but I think
the level of confidence that she exuded, I think a lot of it you can attribute that to her direction.
Yeah, I agree, but unfortunately I also agree with you that if it comes down to negotiations, they would rather keep Gadot and they would leave.
Yeah, and I'm not saying
Jenkins.
that's like
they
I agree
feel like
with
she's
that,
more
but like I can see them doing that. Exactly, she's more expendable.
For consumers, for people going to the movies, a lot of people don't care about direction, and so a director is more expendable because they go for the blockbuster. Like sometimes you'll see the name and that will matter, but most of the time, unless it's a name that like Steven Spielberg, Christopher Nolan, Tim Burton, there are so many other talented directors who don't, for whatever reason, have that sort of name brand, or even Michael Bay, where you can put it on a picture and people will go and see that picture. And unfortunately, I don't think that Patty Jenkins is there quite yet, even though I think she deserves to be, because I thought Wonder Woman was awesome. But we want to hear from you guys in the comment section below. Do you think there's any pay gap, wage disparity going on in this particular story? What do you think about Wonder Woman 2? What would you like to see? Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and Amir and I will see you next time on Pop Trigger.